This is a story of how I got over range anxiety in an EV. When I first got my EV, my first EV was a 2023 Ford Mustang Mach-E. I was really excited about getting it. I had an order in with Ford, and this was early in the model year, and a lot of orders were being placed, and it was taking Ford a while to fill the orders. So what happened is a buyer would put down a $100 deposit, and then they would say, well, maybe in 6 or 7 months we'll have the car. So what I did is I put in an order for a place in Norwalk, and it was taking me, I was about 4 months in, and I started to get antsy. So I started searching cars.com and in radius, ever widening radius. Well, what happened is somebody would order the car, and then it would finally come in, but it took so long that their situation changed, or they bought another car, or they're no longer interested. So that car would then go on the lot for sale. So eventually in my searching, I found a Mach-E that was in Pennsylvania, which is about 3.5-hour drive for me. So we set it up, well, my wife and I set it up for me, and I had my trade-in all lined up, everything was lined up. I took my old car, drove it to the dealership in Philadelphia, and all was gonna be great. And in my conversation with them, I said, hey, make sure that you charge the car to 100% because I'm gonna be driving it back to Connecticut. And they said, no problem, wonderful, it's all done. I talked to them the night before, and they said, all charged, you're all set, we'll see you tomorrow. So I get there, and when I'm purchasing the car, I had set up the app for Ford, and I noticed it was giving me charging numbers and numbers that just didn't jive with the car. And when we opened the car and looked at it, it was only at like 5% charge. And I was very confused, and the app, and then finally what happened is discussions back and forth. The finance guy comes and says, oh, we have a problem. And he said, the problem is the VIN number on the car on the paperwork doesn't match the VIN number on the car. So my Mach-E was Vapor Blue metallic, standard Mach-E. There was another exact clone of that car, a Vapor metallic standard Mach-E. And of course what happened is the person who purchased the local one, came to pick up a purchase that was a local person from Philadelphia, the sales rep, the young sales rep, didn't check the VIN. He said, oh, there it is, Vapor Blue metallic, standard Mach-E. Here's your car, sir. And that person drives off the lot. Wonderful. So I go to pick up the car that I thought I was supposed to have, and I'm only at 5% charge. So after some embarrassing phone calls between the finance manager and the young salesman, they finally sorted it out. We updated the paperwork, and I was good to go. The only problem is now I'm sitting at 5% charge, and the dealership only has a level 2 charger. So a level 2 charger to charge me to 80%, I'd probably have to sit at the dealership for 6 or 7 hours, which I wasn't gonna do. So after some discussion, we got me up to about 8%, and off I went to a fast charging location. Never charged the car before, didn't know what I was doing. Kind of sort of knew from watching videos, so I had to charge it up. I charged up the car at a site, at EVgo, charged it up, and I drove it part way home, and then I had to find another charger, charge it up the rest of the way, and I got home. So I learned how to get over range anxiety by just being thrown into the deep end of the pool and swim. So it was an interesting situation where suddenly I have a car that's very low state of charge, and I have to go 3.5 hours away. So I had to sort out fast charging on the fly. So that's kind of how I got over range anxiety in my EV.